You probably heard of the SNKL23. If not, it's famous for being the Seiko Saab, which can be had for as little as $100. If you're in need for a more dressier piece, or you aren't ready to commit hundreds of dollars on it, then do I have the watch for you? Some people like to go black, some for gold, but for me, I'm more of a silver tone guy. It'll get you noticed, but it'll stay on neutral, elegant but not too loud. So without further ado, I present to you the SNKL15. Well, the SNKL15 K1 to be exact. Oh, got time. There it is. Oh, hefty little thing. So we've got the standard 7S26 movement, 43 hours of power reserve, 6 ticks a second, you can't hack it, and you can't hand wind it. It's around 37mm in case diameter, excluding the crown of course, with 12mm case thickness. The case is sloped lugs, but the dial isn't dwarfed by it, because there's a fairly large dial. Moving on to the dial, well, firstly, there's a really nice sunburst effect going on here. There's also a day-date complication, polished dolphin hands and second hand, batten indices and what I've heard are cathedral-style decorations in the vertical pattern on the outer half of the dial. So super dressy watch opposed to the others in the SNKL family. Seiko Hardlex crystal, it's holding up well for me. I've worn it pretty much every day now, despite accidentally scraping the crystal along the buttons on my parka jacket. The minute and hour hands are loomed, and the loom pits are around the outer edges of the dial along the indices, which is way nicer than, say, the SNKL45 and their family of watches, which have loom pits on the inner half of the dial. So I was actually after the SNKL23. After watching countless videos about that watch, I was pretty intrigued. They're about 120 plus Australian dollars at the time when I was trying to find one. They've since jumped to 140 plus Australian dollars. I'm still going to purchase one of those babies in the future though. But while researching more on the SNKL23, I spotted the yang to its yin. After that, I was eyeing it for a while, and price was pretty good, putting the purchase just under 100 Australian dollars with shipping. So one day I decided to go ahead and purchase the watch from the site, but I wanted to wait for a paycheck that was coming the next day, and I missed it by a day. The very next day, that is. Which I was pretty mad about. I tried messaging them, didn't expect anything, but it never hurt to try. During that time I spotted a similar watch from the same family, which was priced even lower. It was the purple grey dial with the gold indices and hands, so I went ahead and bought it. But I received an email the very next day saying that the price that I bought it at was too low for them to profit on, and they refunded my money. So that was a bummer. Afterwards though, they did offer me a deal, but I passed on it because I saw it was a bit cheaper elsewhere. So what are my gripes? The only thing I didn't like about the watch is the bracelet. I don't hate the bracelet, it's my first one, so I don't have much of a reference point. It is a bit crass with the folded links and the noise. I heard of people describing the watch to have a jingly, jangly kind of sound to it, but it really is kind of a problem. Because even a week in, my bracelet was starting to squeak. Oh, and resizing the bracelet is an absolute pain. I bought my brother a Casio AE1200 before he graduated high school, and we were resizing the bracelet, but holy hell was it a breeze compared to the Seiko C-Link things. My back was killing me and my fingertips were on fire. I resorted to using pliers and a steak knife to pry them out. So what's great about it? Well, the price. You can find this baby under 100, and that's 100 Australian dollars. But for our American and English viewers, it's more akin to $60, so definitely under 100 for you guys. And it definitely looks like a more expensive piece. Also, due to the recessed polished crown, you won't be worried about it catching on your clothing like your cuffs, or damaging it, clipping it on hard surfaces while you swing your arms around. But best of all, you can dress a dressier piece down better than you can dress a casual piece up. I dress smart casual pretty much all the time, but I enjoy a t-shirt and chino here and there if the day gets hot. If you're not into this one, that's cool. There's about 2 or 3 more variations. They work exactly the same, the only difference is the color.